if you all don't have a DS, both with Android or iOS or even with Windows, the learning, the visualization is not perfect until you do it once. The same thing goes with Android. But what I have is videos, which again, or I have an environment which you want me to share. I can go ahead and share. You can enroll the devices. Okay. But you will need to have some test devices to test multiple scenarios, starting from work profile, MAM, the enterprise, the corporate owned, different versions of Android. Different versions of, different customer requirements have different scenarios, different ways to enroll the device. But unless you experience it with the device, with all the and types of enrollment, the enrollment section will not be clear in your mind. Okay. At least some level of enrollments you will have to do it. So the same goes with even iOS. Okay. But when it comes to any corporate device management, forget about the enrollment. Nowadays, everyone knows. Even the help desk engineer knows how it works. But based on the experience, right? Based on if you they are an experienced candidates, usually the discussion points with all of your customer lies boils down to what kind of management? Why should I manage? Are we okay to manage end users Android devices? Okay. Typically, Android devices are more in India, Asia, all this Bangkok, China, Singapore, yeah, Gulf, Middle East. So most of them have personal Android phones. And Android mostly is managed when it comes to task-based devices. Okay, every point of sale, the POS devices, like, all the credit card devices, the task-based devices are all Android operating systems, and there is a need to manage the devices remotely to some extent. And hence, Android is very important for different ways of management. So Android MAM is almost everyone uses Android MAM because most of the people who have Android devices will not enroll their devices. And if the company enforces them to enroll, it will go ahead and default to the work profile enterprise enrollment, and hence it's really not a concern. So both enrollments are okay as long as the customer agrees. Okay. See, you tell me, if you're owning a corporate devices, 80% of the time the hesitation is you will not enroll the device. You'll always think I don't want to enroll my device. Okay. So in general, the the simple way to identify what is if it's a corporate device, try to manage it, try to enroll it. Okay. And if it's a personal device, try to push MAM policies. That's the least secure way. And if it's a personal device, and if your corporate if a company requires both enrollment and also MAM policies, it is also a perfect way. If end users agree, enroll the device even if it's a personal user. There is no harm, right? You will get both MDM and also MAM. But MAM is mandatory for everyone. When I say mandatory, it doesn't really make sense if you don't have MAM and start managing a device. That's all. Okay.
So Raj,
So,
one
mm,
Windows device, one Mac, one iPad is enough to practice, right?
yeah, Android
Yeah,
on one iPad on one Sun Windows virtual machine is fine.
I do have a laptop, so
That is also much better.
yeah.
Okay? If it is a modern laptop with secure boot and TPM 1.2.0, even it's fine. So if it's a
Okay.
old laptop also it's fine. But I will get at least Windows 10 is the Windows 10 20 to 21 latest operating system you install. If Windows 11 works, then absolutely perfect. But you will need to have devices to start working and to start testing. Rest everything is you will get everywhere. It's in the air, okay? You will not have that confidence to speak. So I'm also surprised that if you all have labs, it's good. But if you all don't have lab, I'm really surprised that you will not have labs even in future also because after half of almost 14 classes, If you don't have the labs, then I don't think so you will even have the labs in future. So after this class, you'll forget the entire Intune course. So it's even better now if you pick up and just start doing something so that the rest 8 classes will have some clarity. So these are the different types of enrollment. Okay.
Raj, one general question.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, are we able to manage Chrome OS also by any chance using Intune? Or no?
Yes, we can to some extent. It's recently added.
Okay.
Chrome, Linux, and all there's recently added.
Okay.
What was the question, Raj? I didn't get it.
Can we manage Chrome OS devices?
Okay.
So, okay. The first section, the one that you see is called device admin. That's clearly deprecated. It is really not used anymore. And people who have used MDM in the past, for last before 6 years, 5 years, and all, they might really know what is exactly a device admin. Now, device admin by default on all Android above 8 and above is all blocked. Intune recognizes if it's blocked. I mean, if it's above 9, I think it will go ahead and start doing the Android enterprise enrollment. So this is still existent for some of very, very, very old devices and kiosk, yeah, task-based devices, but that's in the rare scenario. But if your company is recommending, asking you to do something, you only approach with the Android enterprise method of management. So under the Android enrollment, you have Android enterprise, and within the enterprise, we have personal devices. Within the personal devices, you have BOYD, and this is nothing but your work profile. I think Manju sent a screenshot of the work profile with all the briefcase icons, right? So that is exactly this kind of proper enrollment. That is an enrollment with a personal device. And once you enroll, you will have a personal container. It's a separate container, which is your work profile. And you have a separate tab, just like a normal phone, which is your personal phone. So you just swipe it, you'll get only apps. So all the data within the apps will not come out of those personal apps. Okay. Both they are like a container, a virtual container where no data is moved between that personal space versus the corporate space. So the other one is the corporate devices. Okay. So for corporate devices, it is recommended to use any of these methods. Okay. As clearly the name indicates, right? It says corporate owned single use, or you can say single user. If it's a proper corporate owned device, if it is a single user, then use this method. And if it's a corporate owned business only, they say COBO, it is also use that method, corporate owned personal enabled. So you'll understand what are all these when we actually show you what is the different, how does it really differentiate between all these. At a high level, nothing differentiates. It's just a little bit more control or lesser control. That's all, nothing else. More or less, all are the same. The typical way of enrolling all these devices is also the same. The company gives you a QR code, you power on the device, you scan the QR code, it enrolls automatically in all these 3 methods. And this is a method where you download the company portal from internet and sign in with your corporate office credentials, username, email, password, and then it will enroll into your personal BOYD type of enrollment. This is, you don't enter username and password. You scan the QR code first, one way. There are so many other ways, NFC, all the other methods, but assume QR code is one standard way of doing it. So you scan the QR code that the IT admin has sent to your email or wherever they have put up the board. After you scan the QR code, these devices will start enrolling automatically. Only in this case, it will ask username and password, and rest all everything is silent enrollment. I'll come back to this screen later when we are revisiting this one. Okay, so this is another picture. So just take 2 minutes time and just grasp as much as possible in this screen. Okay. Okay. So just like iOS, we have app protection policies, which is your company, which is your MAM protection policies, where you really don't need to manage a device. So administrator, when I say manage a device, administrator cannot see your device in Intune. He cannot do anything. He cannot wipe it. He cannot know any information. He cannot sync the device. He cannot push the applications. He cannot track your uh, device settings or properties or anything. So it is unmanaged device. He can only push policies to the mobile applications based on your user account. This is pure personal account. What is it required? Nothing is required. You just go ahead and start downloading Outlook and Teams. You start logging in. It will start working automatically. Only thing is it will prompt you to install company portal or authenticator based on the operating system. But here in the Android, it is both. So either one. So if you already have authenticator, it won't ask you. If you already have a company portal, it will do silent registration in the backend. All you have to do is any one Microsoft applications to log into this. So this particular one, okay, this Intune personal MAM protection policies. Is it clear? Do you all have any questions on this? On how to enroll?
Oh,
So
we are okay.
I'll take it as no, but let me again one final time say it very simple. App protection policies applies on a end user account, okay, the corporate account. So no matter where in the world you pick up a device, take an iPhone, take an Android or anything, you sign in to your Outlook application, the app protection policies will be applied. That's all, plain and simple. Okay. If you pick up any Android device and log into Teams, app protection policies will be applied to Teams. And in order to do that, Teams alone cannot push policies. Okay. Intune can only push policies if a device is registered. Right? In order for the device is registered, Teams application cannot go ahead and register it. It needs another application to register it. And that application in Android is called company portal. In iOS, it is called authenticator. Okay. So if it is not there in the mobile at that point of time, it will ask you to install it. So that is where you see the prompt to install company portal. You just need to install it. You don't need to enroll, click login, begin, everything. You don't need to do it. The instruction is actually clear, but most people don't read it. It says you just need to register this application. In order to register the application, you just need to download the company portal is what the instruction says in the mobile phone. But people will log into company portal, they log in their sign, and by the time they do it, it will be enrolled automatically. So you just need to download the company portal. Okay, and if you're a administrator and you need to instruct the end users on how to log into MAM, here is a trick that you'll not really see it. Ask them to install the company portal application first, if it's an Android device, and don't touch it. Don't launch it, don't open it, don't do anything. And then start using Outlook or Teams or any application. So preferably Outlook, install Outlook, and then log into your account, you're done. Simple. You log into Teams, you download Teams, typically it's Outlook and Teams, okay? And people want some PowerPoint, Excel, Word, even that is fine. All those applications you install, you'll not feel any difficulties in the user experience. The only trick here is download the company portal and don't open it. Let it be in the backend somewhere hidden in the mobile, okay? Your MAM is done for Android. Same goes with iOS. All you have to do is just install Authenticator. That's the first step. Don't open it, don't launch it, don't do anything. And start using Outlook or SharePoint or OneDrive, whichever application you want. You start logging in with your account. So you're done with MAM. Okay. And for this, people and many companies break their head. They have a separate help desk. They have a separate flyers, emails, all these headaches are there. And if you change the instructions into this short thing, okay, install company portal, don't open it, don't launch it, don't do anything. That's all. Your almost rollout is done. to all the users in your organization. So that is how you enroll MAM. Okay. So we can't avoid it. Now, if you look at how MAM functions is, you cannot make easier than that, right? Because we have the same application to register and also same application to enroll, right? So it can't be more easier. Okay. And now enrollment. Okay. You forget this too because it's no more valid. So the real thing is now started with the Google Android Enterprise Program. So in these three, four, okay, the number is 3. Okay. 1 is MAM, 2 is deprecated, 3 is the entire program covered as Google Enterprise Program. Here we have again 4 different methods. The first is typically what you see for a personal device, which I want to enroll. I have a personal device, but I still want to enroll. What do I do is I just go to the company portal and enroll my device. Click on enroll, login, enroll username. It says, it will prompt you to, do you want to enroll the device? Click yes, enroll and move on. Okay. Just read the screen and move on. The device will be enrolled. And that is where it creates a work profile, a separate work profile container here in this 3. Only then work profile, and that's where it's a separate, your enrollment is done after the work profile. So this is personally owned with work profile. Okay. So you can actually, these 3 things, right? This is, you can try it, but these 3 things is, there's an Intune app, not just Intune app, Intune alone app, because Intune app will be actually downloaded in the beginning. Okay. It will not be downloaded because these all start from factory reset devices. When I say factory, these are brand new devices. Okay. Just like how Windows Autopilot, how Apple Business Manager devices are there, or just like how Android Zero Touch devices. These are all that kind of devices. Okay. Say, for example, today you bring some Huawei or any Samsung phone, and you assume that it's a corporate phone, and you power it on. Okay, you power it on. You just need to tap the sign in button 8 times. As soon as you tap that sign in button 8 times, or you can type it Android AFW setup. I'll show you in a video. Okay, AFW is Android for work. Earlier, before Google Enterprise, the name was Android for work. Okay, AFW. So if you type Google AFW, it'll prompt you for a QR scan, a QR code. Okay, and that you can scan it wherever. You can scan it from an email, computer screen, wherever it is, and it'll enroll automatically. As simple as that. Scan the QR code, it's done. Nothing more in all these 3 methods. That QR code itself will tell you what kind of enrollment, which is my Intune service, which tenant I have to contact, what do I do. Everything is in there, the QR code. I mean, QR code will redirect to Intune service and that will identify what to do. Okay. Next. Okay. Is this clear? At least at a high level, what do you actually mean by Google? And in all these, you have to understand is this Google's Android operating system. Okay. Which means in that Google Android operating system, we have Play Store, Play Services, Maps, Google Services, Google Search, all these Google enabled services are there in the Android operating system. Okay, that is a method. But here in AOSP Manager, as you can see here in these 2 sections, it is also Android Open Source Program Management. AOSP is Android Open Source Program Management. That also is a public, that's open source operating system. It is exactly an operating system like Android. Okay, you'll not feel any difference. Only thing is, it does not have Google services. It does not have Play Store. You cannot download applications. You cannot download all this. Google has no contact, no role in that mobile device. Android is open source, right? But they have taken Android source and Google has modified it. Though Android is still owned by Google, but there is a separate thing called as open source. and you take the open source that Google itself has exposed and you customize it and add some Google services, then it becomes a Google Android app. Without GMS, Google Managed Services, it is called Android open source devices. And those devices, where do you see? You see everywhere, most of the time. So you will actually see those applications in task-based devices. People, you see, like, if you go to IKEA, if you go to somewhere, okay, all the scanners and all are all OSP devices. They don't have GMS services, but they are proper Android systems. If you go to factories and industries, there are IR and VR glasses, right? So those glasses is an Android operating system. Okay. So there's many devices. Okay. Honeywell, the Zebra devices. Okay. All the Amazon packaging, everything is done by Zebra devices, right? If you have seen some video. The entire Zebra devices fleet within the Android parcel center or shipping center or shipment center, everywhere, wherever humans are involved, they are scanned using Zebra devices. So those devices has to be managed, okay, because they need some applications, they need some security on it, and they're using many other tools. But
So Zebra devices with printers you're talking about?
sorry,
Zebra printers?
Zebra printer, yes. Zebra printer is like those barcode things, right? That SAP
Yeah.
integrates with. That's different. Zebra printer, it prints you the stickers, right?
Yeah.
So the same company has a Zebra devices. They are like, right, in India, you will see all this credit card in inserters. It,
No.
it looks like that. Okay. If you go to petrol bank
Okay.
or any other thing, it looks like that. Only thing is it has a sharp scanner in the back end.
Hmm.
It scans. Let me show you that. But let me show you when I'm sharing the screen. So now you can just Google it, the Android, Zebra Android devices. You'll find how the image looks.
Okay.
So that is how it is. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. If you have any questions, you can just wait for it. After the end of the session, we can discuss. So this is Android. Okay. So what we actually have is what we can do. Okay. This is nothing but we can do for app protection policies, as you know, security and configuration. You can define some compliance policies. And of course, we have some configuration policies. We can just look at what kind of configuration policies we can define some today. And we have app configuration policies. Okay, when it comes to apps, any apps we can actually integrate all of the application to Google Managed Play and download and push applications silently to managed devices directly from Google Play Store. Okay, and if an application is not in the Google Play Store, you can upload that application into Intune and push it. The format of that application is .apk, and if you have an APK file, upload it to Intune and you can push it to the devices. So app configuration policies also, you can also deploy to the applications that are deployed from Intune right here. Say, for example, you have a VPN application, but every time you launch an VPN applications, you want to avoid users to type in the VPN server address, right? Port, all those you want to avoid it. So you can pre-configure those settings on all of those devices, and that is exactly the name, app configuration policies. So I can create an app configuration policy for a Cisco VPN, any Connect VPN or a Palo Alto VPN. Okay, as soon as I select the Palo Alto VPN app configuration policy, I get an option as to what needs to be the default values. So if you have Outlook, if I want to push an app configuration profile to Outlook mobile application or a mail application, what I will do, I'll do my UPN at azuread.com. Yeah, all that I'll just fetch it, okay, from that, and so that it pre-configures it. I would put my email server as office365.com. Okay, all this information I'll get it from other different teams and then add it so that it logs in. So that I mean, the values are already entered and seen when we launch the application. That's it. Nothing magical about it. So enrollment is, we talk about enrollment tokens and zero touch provisioning and enrollment restrictions, right? So enrollment restrictions are just show saying that, okay, we can either block or allow. People will say, I don't want to enroll Android devices. Okay, you just block it. By default, no one's device will be enrolled. So everyone will only be enrolled to MAM. So yesterday's question, what Manjunath asked was the same thing. How can I block? You cannot block. It's up to how user uses it, right? The only way you can block is block the Android enrollment itself. If your organization decides, I don't want to block, I don't want any Android enrollments to my company, then just block it. Let them only use MAM. Okay, which means they cannot use, sorry, they cannot use any other method of enrollment. Okay, no matter what enroll, it will be just blocked. Okay, the only option they have is download Outlook, download company portal, and start using it, and only use MAM application. So this is how it exactly looks. Okay, it's more of a pictorial representation of various kinds of enrollment. So hope this is much clear. And for BOYD, the first way of enrollment, which I said, it's a unmanaged device and a personal device. It is your same phone, but entire phone is you have all the applications, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere here. But this section, a part of the phone has a corporate managed application. It's a separate container. Okay, it's a virtual container. The second one that you see, it's a corporate owned work managed. So these are the names that needs to be thought of. Okay, corporate owned, which is owned by a company, but it is a work managed. The entire thing is managed by the company now. And you have something like this, corporate owned single use, which means that an entire phone is managed by the company, but it is in lockdown kiosk mode. There are only one or two applications. Nothing else can be used in that application. Okay, it is a kiosk mode, as you can see. Only one screen. Okay, like now in the theater, you will see a booking centers right outside kiosks. The the last one is corporate owned. It's owned by the company, personally enabled. You still have personal space in it, which means that you have your Gmail account, you can use like a personal phone. Okay, no one is stopping you, but it is a corporate managed. They can wipe it if it wants, but they cannot track all of these details. But here in this section, it is again a corporate managed work profile. Okay, so is this clear? Okay, so let's start some enrollments and see. Okay, but if anyone wants to do any kind of enrollments, let me know. I'll share the credentials in the group. If you have any Android phones, you can start doing it. So this is work profile. See, I'll just play the video. Please just pay attention. Okay, so here the guy is installing the company portal. Okay, he goes to this is how they start. Okay, so after launching the company portal, what happened? So as you can see, get it installed. So it's opens, right? As soon as you open, what happened? Nothing happened, right? So it says sign in. So you need to sign in. And this is where you don't do that for MAM. Okay, you stop it right here. You just launch it. You don't even open it. And now come back to here. Go to Outlook or some other. Then you log in. That's the only difference in MAM. See, this you don't do for MAP, only for MDM you do it. But you need this application on the mobile in both cases. In MDM case, you sign in. In non-MDM, in MAM case, you don't sign in. That's all. Okay. So this is what happens now, signing in. So this is where you see, okay, this is their company name, okay, and this is exactly, let me check, okay. Okay, so this is what happens. You entered, you logged in, okay. Now, as you can see, you really did not do anything, okay. This is what happens. Okay, so this is where it says access setup. Let's set up your device to access your email, Wi-Fi, and apps for work. You'll also be able to manage your devices. Okay, from here you can reset, you can do anything you want from this device. So there are 3 steps for that to happen. The first one is to create a work profile, and then 2 is to activate your work profile, and 3 is update device settings. Okay.
Right. Once again, you can pause it.
Yes.
So that step where it says you need to register the device, do we get that option only if you sign into the company portal? For example,
Here, wait.
in my last testing,
Mhm.
I did apply the MAM policy, but somehow it didn't let me move forward to launch the applications without registering the device. So that's where I ended up with the work profile.
No, yeah, you're right. So registration is different. Okay. So what exactly happens? Follow these steps. It really won't happen. Okay. The thing is, I mean, if you look at it, sign in. Right. Okay. So this is where this screen will not show up if you're using MAP.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. So because what does it happen? This create work profile, activate work profile, and update device setting is a proper MDM. Okay. So you should not get this screen. If you had this screen, it means that I don't think so it will come. Okay. Because all it needs is a registration. The only thing what happened is you might have not had this app before. Okay.
The company
Uh,
portal.
the company portal. Okay.
Okay.
So what you do is clear off everything. Anyone download the company portal. Don't even open it, and now start using Outlook or OneDrive or whoever it is, whichever it is. Just simple Outlook. Start using Outlook. It won't get. You won't get that screen. So Outlook will trigger a device registration. Okay. And this company portal in the backend will trigger a device registration. It will do its job. And after its registration, it will come back. Okay. You will not see the screen. Okay. You can try and let me know tomorrow.
No, I got it. But the first thing, what went wrong, I'm still trying to understand what exactly, because as far I remember, company portal was installed, but I mean, during my testing, it's possible I might have logged on to the company portal.
Exactly. That is what happened. So if you don't log in to the company portal, the way the company portal, it needs all these 3 things to pass for a proper
Okay.
enrollment. Or what happened is, you see here, we logged in, nothing happened. See, we're signed into the company portal app. See, it will go here. Only thing is you don't use that screen. This everything I signed in and I did it, correct? I don't have to
Correct.
do it if I do it from Outlook. The same thing will happen here. Even if it is done, you need to stop it here. Let me tell. Sign in,
Okay.
stop it here. That's all. This is a MAM way of looking. This is how MAM looks. And if you click the device, he goes to the devices. You see, nothing. This device is not managed. Nothing comes. Okay. This is very. Yeah, and now at this stage, you go and download Outlook. Nothing will happen. You'll not even ask. Yeah. No, I know the confusion, but we do that daily so that we understand the difference. But you can start doing it, you'll come to know. Okay. So Yeah, so this is the button begin. A typical user guide will have this begin button.
So difference between means I didn't get.
Sorry.
No, difference between means.
The MAM and the work profile creation process.
Okay.
That's what he was explaining.
Yeah. So all these are unenrolled devices. Okay. So now a proper enrollment will happen. You know what exactly happens in a work profile is your device first of all should be encrypted. Only then the work profile will set up. The setting up work profile is an Android for Work library that is inbuilt within the Android operating system that is there. What you see is work profile is not from Intune. Okay. The Intune will only trigger saying that set up a work profile. That's all, nothing else. Okay. The entire work profile setup is a pure Android OS related. Okay. It is their library, their module. See, this is exactly starts. It is not Intune screen. This is that is hidden in the screen. If you have a car and you've seen Android Auto, right? Android Auto doesn't prompt you don't see Android Auto in your phone unless you connect it to the car, right? It's hidden unless you connect it to the car. It really doesn't require. Same thing. Unless some company triggers an installation, this won't launch. Okay. The same thing, Apple CarPlay. You won't see an Apple CarPlay in a typical application until you connect to a car. That application, hidden application, will come out from the mobile. So same thing here. You might have never seen this one until Intune kicks it. It says go start installing a work profile. This is what install, and here everything is started. This is now Google's job. Okay, Android's job. So you accept and continue. This is setting up a work profile. Okay. This is scanning the device, checking if encryption or prerequisites are all there. Okay. And then set up a work profile. It is doing all this. Okay. See, just one thing is gone. Now just work profile is called. Now access is done. Now device registration is happening. It's nothing but enrollment. Okay. Here in this stage. Okay. Now this is done. Okay. As soon as you do it, it will take some time. Okay. For this to appear as compliant. Why? Because it has to send data to and fro between device and service and just verify it, everything is in place. So this is how it looks. This is a separate container of work profile. This is the Play Store application exactly. Okay. And this is your home page, right? And if you log in, this is how the tab looks like. It's a separate tab. Okay. I launched application. These are work application. This is a personal application. If I click personal, it looks like your normal phone. If you click work, you'll see all of your work applications here. Outlook, Teams, everything. See, this is your personal application. And this is your work application. Yeah. So, any questions on that?
Looks good.
Okay. So, can you just, as you can read now you know how a work profile and a personal container looks. I mean, work for profile. It's a separate tab. That's it. Nothing else. Only there. All the applications that you push from your company portal, I mean, the company, it's there. But the good thing about it is users will not question. Users will not say, oh, you're managing my phone. All that they'll not say. Okay, they'll always think, oh, it's a personal, it's a separate profile. Why should I be worried? So most of the people don't have any concerns using enrollment with Android phone. Okay. So it is better. Ask them to enroll. Okay, if it is even also, I mean, it is even better if you ask them not to enroll the device, even that is fine. Okay, no thing. Whether you enroll or whether you don't enroll, ideal recommendation is to have MAM protection policies for every user in your organization, and it's up to them whether they want to enroll or you don't enroll. Okay. So this is how in the reporting it looks like. If you have an Android phone, it says personally owned work profile. Okay, separately personal, different Android version operating system. So what happens if a wipe is triggered? If a wipe is triggered for the device, only the content with the work profile is removed and the user data remains untouched. So this is the best option in Android. But in iOS, it won't happen. If you click wipe, the entire device is wiped. Right? But in Android, only the work profile is wiped. Only that briefcase icons and applications will go away. It becomes like a normal phone. So this, you know, right?
Right. What happens with the iOS devices for the BYOD, the work profile one?
There's nothing
Will
like
it?
work profile or personal or BOID in iOS, right?
Correct. Okay.
Okay. So you just enroll or you don't enroll.
Correct. Okay.
The term BOID is you only ask them to not to enroll and start using MAM protection policies. That's it. You don't ask them to enroll. That's BOID. So help us. Okay. So this is exactly what happens if a conditional access is for, right? So enroll now. You click on enroll. So suddenly you pick up a phone and tab and start enrolling. And if your conditional access says, unless I enroll my device, I won't allow you. So this is the screen that it appears. Okay. And then this is where your Play Store opens. You'll ask you to install company portal. And then you install the company portal, you enroll it and you do it. The same thing. Okay. I just want to show you another bigger screen plus what triggers an enrollment. People keep on asking, how can I force enrollment? So this is how you force an enrollment. You block all access and conditional access. And when you try to access something, it'll ask you to enroll the device. Okay, you begin, you click next. This is again a Samsung work profile, sorry, Android work profile.
Sorry, if you could go back to that step again, the one where you said how to enforce the enrollment,
Yeah, that is
the
the first
conditional
step.
access.
Yeah. Yes, what's the question?
You said, I mean, in the conditional access, if you define something that it will enforce the device registration.
Yes. What happens is, okay, why do you want to enforce enrollment on a mobile device?
No, it's for my learning purpose.
No, I'm not asking, but in a typical company, when do they see a screen like, enroll your device? Why do end users will get a screen like enroll your device? Because he wants to access emails, right, from his phone. He wants
Correct.
to access, okay, he wants to go in bus and start attending Teams meeting. He wants to sit in hometown and attend Teams meeting, right? What will happen in
Correct.
that case? He'll install Teams application and he'll log in. And as soon as he logs in, he'll say, no, boss, this is the screen, it will come. Right? Because it says your device is not enrolled to Intune. Your device is not compliant. Your organization will not allow personal devices to log in to Teams. Something like that. Okay.
How do you enforce this one?
You have to click as Intune compliant device in the conditional access. That one check mark. That's it.
Okay.
which I'll show.
Okay.
Remind me if I missed it. Okay, but so this is what happens. So same thing. Okay, same screen. Here, enrollment. This is what. So in some applications, some based on operating systems, right? So it'll not really not have a separate tab. It'll have something like this. Let me show you. See, work. They don't have a separate tab here. If you just click work here, you'll get all the list of applications. This is my video. YouTube video. Okay. Now, so this is done. So this is what I was talking about. Now we finished the first one, which is MAM. We don't need anything there. All we need is to just log in with your account and have a company portal installed. The second one is we started off installing the company portal from the Play Store, logged in, begin. We followed all those 3 work profile steps, and finally we saw work profile installed, and all of our applications are there. That is typically personal device enrollment. Okay. The same thing you can do for corporate also. There's no harm. No one will stop and say and do anything. But there may be some scenarios and devices where, uh, no, we need a proper corporate own where, we don't know who the login user is. We want to set up as a kiosk device. We want to set it as a shared device, temporary device. These are proper company owned devices. In that case, the IT admin takes the responsibility of enrolling the device. Okay. Or there may be some staff who enrolls the device, or you tell the staff itself on how to enroll the device. Okay. No matter how you enroll the device, you have multiple, who enrolls the device, you have multiple ways of enrolling. So if you have a device, you can just tap into a device that is already enrolled. It is NFC, but you don't do it most of the times. Or you can use the token. Token is, what is this one? Or you can use the QR code. The common thing is the QR code. Okay. And you can use the Google Zero Touch also. That is again, you need to enter those devices in the Google Enterprise website and start using. That's nowadays no one does it. QR is the easiest option and to do it. Okay, because you can ship the QR code in email, to print out, just scan it, apply it, put it in some IT help desk, whatever it is. It is easy to handle the devices. Okay. So what exactly happened? The first step is, this is where it appears, right? You need to type in AFW hash setup, Android for work hash setup. And as soon as you click it, you'll get this option. You enter the code and then you scan it and you enter the code also. Okay. That we can see it, how we can generate all these QR codes and all. Okay. So here it is. Okay. This is how it appears on a fully managed corporate owned device. You see this, what's happening. And this is a brand new device. Okay. He just launched it. He opened it. Okay. Nothing else is done. So what happens? What did he say? 2 tabs, 3 tabs. I think 3 tabs. Okay. So this is what happens. QR code setup. Okay. Next. Of course, without internet, nothing happens. Now you need to set up internet. Okay. You can start again. Okay. And this is the email. He took the phone. He's scanning it. So as soon as you scan the QR code, it says the QR code has all the information. So just accept and continue. This device will be managed and kept secure by your organization. Terms from Google will apply. Terms from Google will apply. So accept and continue. Okay. It's updating the device. So this is a fully managed, but it is a owned, right? Some user should be owned, right? That's when the username needs to be entered. If it's a userless device, you don't need to do it. This will or not come. So he enters the username, password. See, these are all the applications that IT admin has made it mandatory, which is these two are required apps, which means that Authenticator and Intune are required. These two Microsoft Intune apps are required so that it will start functioning. At least basic apps. Okay. So he clicks on start. And after that, it's done. So this is the password now. Okay. So what? Sorry. So the password. So help us register. For everything, registration is required, right? Both personal or corporate or any kind of thing. See, register the device and you need to choose the category. That's all. So click on next. So person, corporate, surface, app, whatever it is.